Well, it's been a long wait, but after months of speculation and theorizing, Sombra is finally here. Blizzard is sure doing their best to continue the hype. So far we've gotten not only an origin video and a gameplay video, but also a brand new animated short that focuses on Sombra and her partnership with Talon. Sombra will be available in the PTR starting next week, but watching all the new videos got me curious as to how her kit functions and how she changes the metagame. Keep in mind, everything I'm about to say is speculation. We won't know anything for sure until Sombra makes her entrance on the PTR. Still, I wanted to take a closer look at what might just be Overwatch's most hyped hero to date. Let's start by looking at Sombra's weapon. Her gun is a machine pistol that fires in a short-range spread. Taking a look at the gameplay trailer, it appears to do low amounts of damage, but fires very rapidly, similar to how Tracer's pulse pistols work. Unlike the pulse pistols, however, Sombra's machine pistol has 60 rounds per mag instead of Tracer's 40. Depending on the reload speed, which seems relatively quick in the trailer, Sombra's basic attacks seem fairly comparable to Tracer's, if not slightly better. I want to take a look at Sombra's hack ability, which allows her to hack enemies and prevent them from using their own abilities. It can also be used to disable enemy turrets or to disable health packs in order to sabotage the enemy team for a brief period of time. It's worth noting that Hack does have a decently lengthy casting animation, and as such can likely be interrupted with abilities such as McCree's stun or Roadhog's hook. It also has a fairly lengthy cooldown of 12 seconds, but honestly that seems like an appropriate amount of time considering the strength of the ability. The gameplay trailer reveals that Hack not only prevents an enemy from using any abilities, but can cancel abilities mid-cast. This does mean any and all abilities, from Pharah's jump jets, to Mercy's guardian angel, to Reinhardt's barrier field even. Hack is also linked to Sombra's ultimate ability, so I'll talk more about its potential further down the line. Sombra's second ability is her Thermoptic Camo. Not only does she become invisible for a short duration, she also gains increased movement speed for as long as the ability is active. The ability ends when the timer runs out, or if Sombra uses an offensive ability, or takes damage. This ability gives Sombra huge mobility potential that I would argue rivals even Tracer. The cooldown on Sombra's camo is only 6 seconds, which means she can camo in, pick off a valuable target, such as a Mercy or a Zenyatta, and then camo out with relative ease. I know I keep making comparisons to Tracer, but this ability allows her similar freedom of mobility that Tracer has, in a sense that both characters seem to be good at getting in, getting the target, and then dipping out and planning the next hit and run. Let's take a look at Sombra's third ability, which is her Translocator. She tosses out a beacon and can return to the beacon's location so long as the ability is active. The gameplay trailer shows that the beacon can be thrown a decent distance, making for some daring escapes. It can also function similar to Tracer's recall and allow Sombra to disengage from a dive with ease. The ability lasts for 15 seconds, so it will take some strategizing to make full use of. However, the cooldown of the ability is only 6 seconds, which just increases the mobility camo already grants Sombra. Plus, unlike abilities such as Symmetra's Teleporter, it appears Sombra's Translocator can't be destroyed. I can't confirm this fact, so we may have to wait until the PTR release to be sure, but if that's the case, that would make her Translocator extremely powerful. Sombra's ultimate is her EMP, which utilizes the effects of her hack ability at a larger scale. Sombra discharges electromagnetic energy in a large radius, destroying enemy barriers and shields while simultaneously hacking all opponents within the ability's range. This ult has the potential to be one of the more game-changing ults in the current meta. It leaves enemies incredibly vulnerable for a notable duration, and has the ability to enable huge plays by the friendly team. It does have a significant casting animation, which enemy players could potentially interrupt, meaning that Sombra players will have to be strategic when planning to ult their foes. After taking a look at her abilities, I think it's worth asking, just which heroes counter Sombra? The first hero that comes to mind is Winston, mostly because he seems most able to deal with Sombra's camo ability. Since Winston's Tesla cannon deals damage to the enemies in front of him, he doesn't necessarily have to aim to cause damage. He could easily disrupt a Sombra using Thermoptic Camo if he keeps an eye on where she disappears at and aims in that general area. Mei seems most able to counteract Sombra's hack ability due to the nature of her own Ice Block ability. Mei is invulnerable throughout the duration of Ice Block, which means she can't likely be hacked during the ability. If Mei catches a Sombra mid-hack animation, she can Ice Block and then Ice Wall immediately after, effectively cutting Sombra off from her target and giving her teammates a chance to finish off the distracted hacker. Additionally, heroes with a stun seem particularly useful, as they can prevent Sombra from using her Translocator ability and potentially interrupt her EMP. I'm thinking of McCree and Ana in particular. Of course, these two need to be able to hit Sombra with their respective stuns in order to be effective, and given her mobility, this may be difficult to pull off. This leads us to the question, just how will Sombra's ult affect the metagame? The potential for her ult is huge, and quite honestly, it will have a severe effect on some of the more common pro picks. Think about it. Almost every pro team uses a Zarya, a Reinhardt, and a Zenyatta. Being hit with Sombra's ult will remove their shields and make them particularly vulnerable to being picked off, especially poor 50 health Zenyatta. Additionally, the gameplay trailer suggests that Sombra can counter Lucio's ult, making her particularly effective against yet another top-tier support pick. At this point in time, I expect Sombra to be a must-pick for competitive gameplay. I think it's safe to speculate that Sombra will be nerfed shortly after her release onto the PTR. She's just too strong overall. She has insane mobility with her camo and translocator, and her ult is just way too damn good. There are a couple ways Blizzard could nerf her, such as increasing the cooldowns on both her camo and her translocator. They could also remove the movement speed boost on her camo ability, which will cut down on her still very powerful mobility. As far as changes to her ult goes, we'll just have to wait and see, but after the reveal, I'm fairly certain that Sombra is the most powerful hero Blizzard has debuted to date. Anyway, those are just some of my initial thoughts about Sombra. I'm super excited that she's finally been revealed. Goodness knows we've all been looking forward to this for a long time. Of course, until Sombra's release on the PTR next week, everything is pretty up in the air, but luckily for us, that's a short wait compared to how long we've waited so far. Thanks so much for watching. Hopefully you're as hyped for Sombra as I am, and until next time.